Welcome to LexLocal. I'm your host, Rick Dorrington. We have a packed show for you today featuring community events, school updates, and celebrations from around town. Let's get started. We begin today with coverage from the No Kings protest that took place nationwide on June 14th. In Lexington, over 2,000 people of all ages gathered at the Minuteman statue and along Mass Ave to make their voices heard and express concerns about the Trump administration. Their signs highlighted concerns over immigration policy, maintaining the rule of law, and preserving democracy. It's nice to see democracy still at work here in Lexington. We got a first look at the proposed designs for the interior of the new Lexington High School. During their June 2nd meeting, the school building committee engaged in discussions regarding the interior design. While still early, the committee, along with the design firm, looked into potential material choices and concepts. Here are some clips from the meeting.
I'm the lead interior designer on the project, and we're going to talk through the finish types for each space type. We're looking at materiality. We're not looking at color. Color, we have lots of time to finesse and get to the bottom of as we move into design development. Starting here with the dining commons, we're proposing a wood look metal ceiling for that space. The walls would be a combination of paint and porcelain wall tile with a small amount of tackable surface. And then the floors in that space will be a combination of several terrazzo colors and some intricate patterns. As we move on to the library media center, the ceiling finish is a combination of the wood look metal panels, again, to continue that warmth upstairs to this level. And acoustical ceiling tile. The walls will be accent paints, fabric wrapped acoustical panels, and potentially some wood paneling as well, as you can see in the render. And then the floors will be a combination of different colors and patterns of a resilient carpet tile. In the large group instruction space, again, since it's adjacent to the dining commons 2-story space, we'll continue the wood look metal ceiling here. This space is also visible from the main entrance underneath the brow. So we wanted to kind of make sure that the ceiling in this space is harmonious to the brow above and kind of continues that language inside the building. Moving to the auditorium, we will be having acoustical ceiling panels and reflective wood acoustical accents. The walls will be a combination of wood panels to match the ceiling and then acoustically absorbent panels as well. And then for the seating area, we'll be having sealed concrete under the seats, and then the aisleways for circulation will be a carpet tile.
Tile in Arlington made us cringe. It made us physically cringe when we walked in.
Yeah, we didn't design Arlington.
Yep. And the tile in Waltham, which you did design, made us gasp. We loved it. It really made us feel wonderful, right? So I want to echo the use of tile, especially the use of tile that your design team has shown us in the past. That was a really important factor in giving people walking through that school the feeling, wow, this is a high-performing school. This is an excellent school.
In the gymnasium, we'll have an exposed acoustic metal deck. We'll have Tectum wall panels and wall pads, as well as environmental graphics showcasing the athletic brand. And then the flooring in the gymnasium will be a wood sports flooring. As we move to our typical classroom and corridor wings, the classroom material for flooring will be linoleum, a combination of colors to create some visual interest there. The walls will be a combination of different accent paints, and then we'll have acoustical ceiling tiles there as well. The corridor space will be using polished concrete floors. It will be a larger size aggregate and a mid-level sheen for glare reduction. There'll also be a combination of patterns or colors used to create some visual interest and wayfinding in the corridor space. The walls in the corridors, this is a typical elevation of the walls. So we'll have a porcelain tile base, and the majority of the wall will be porcelain tile for durability, about 6 feet high. Above that, we'll have a 2-foot band of tackable surface, and then paint above that up to the acoustical ceiling tile.
For the tack surface, when I think about that, I think about like the cork board I have, by my desk in the kitchen. Does a tack surface, can that be different colors?
So this is a product that is actually a self-healing tack board. So it self-heals, so you don't see the pin pricks after the push pins taken out or the staples taken out. But it comes in a wide variety of colors. We're really excited to get into that level of detail. Our graphic designer, Allie, is excited to help out and be involved for the experiential graphic design and the wayfinding and how this all ties together to the interior design. So it's going to be fun.
The school building committee also held a public forum on June 17th to present the designs for the exterior of the new high school.
The team have been working for quite a long time, as you know, to develop a really holistic approach that really preserves not only the functional elements of the existing site, but also the character of it, looking toward the main entrance. And the building is structured so that it has basically 6 arms that come out from it. So that's the result of 3 L-shaped wings that are connected by a central dining commons. And above that is an outdoor learning commons or courtyard, as we've been calling it. So the basic partie of the project allows for the sense of the building kind of outreaching into the site. It's presenting a scaled down sort of portion of the building in each direction. That there are 3 entry points to the center from 3 different sides of the site. We're seeing the main one here, and that means that visitors will approach this part of the building. They will proceed to the center area where that wall of glass is, and below that is the entry. And then within that is a secure entrance to the school. Above that, behind the glass, is a large group instruction space, which is really a hub of project-based learning, where it can house co-teaching. Multiple classes can assemble there at the same time. It can host lectures, impromptu theatrical performance and practice for the arts. So it's a really high functional space, and we think it will be used a lot by the community. So putting it front and center, we think, makes a lot of sense.
In terms of the outdoor space, I know we've done a lot to make the indoor space, but I've looked at this and have not really figured out where you think students are going to gather in their own small groups and all that on this campus and still be part of the campus. So I wonder if you'd comment about that.
But between the pathways that go out to the learning environments out in the wetlands, as well as what we're calling item 14, which is the amphitheater. It's the teardrop shape, darker green, that has an amphitheater and some fixed seating in that area that will remain. That is a key area for where we think students are going to congregate. Obviously, the Muzzy Street connection and making sure at item 15 there, you'll see that there's a sculptural element. Again, making a destination for parts of the site. This site has all exposures, right? And so I think students will go to where they're comfortable with as well, like whether you want to be in the sun or in the shade. You know, you can be in the trees at item 19, which is a dedicated decomposed granite path through the woods where the knoll is. I think there are a lot of opportunities for student selection and student agency of where they want to go, but we are creating those destinations throughout the site.
So this is the culmination of a lot of work over many months and meeting with many people, many constituents, hearing many voices, and really trying to knit it all together. It's not the end of design. There's still a lot to do, but we feel this has the basis of a really promising site plan.
The proposed new Lexington High School is beginning to take shape. You can follow all the exciting progress by watching the school building committee meetings on the LexMedia.com on-demand player. The town received a generous gift when Select Board member Doug Lucente donated a commemorative arch in honor of the 250th anniversary. After the arch took an unexpected tumble during the opening ceremonies of the 250th celebration, it's now been patched up and is ready for everyone to enjoy. The arch serves as a tribute to the volunteer spirit of the community and proves that sometimes the best monuments are the ones that get back up again.
This started with an idea, actually 2 separate ideas came forward, and we sort of married this into what you see now today. So I was in a meeting with Sandia and Mike Cronin, Derek Sensabaugh on decorations for the 250th. And we were talking about buntings. And Sandia pulls out her phone, and Sandia shows me a photo that I had never seen before of an arch that was put on the Battle Green in 1875. And my immediate thought was, we have to do this again. I don't know how or where or why, but we have to do it again. And it stuck with me. It was probably 6-7 months ago. Fast forward a couple of months later, and maybe around the same time, Sarah Bothwell Allen came forward to the commission with an idea of volunteer service. And she said, how can we do something related to the 250th that has volunteerism associated with it? My first thought was, I don't understand, what is she talking about? This doesn't make sense. But as she explained it, and as we talked through, the men and women who fought on the battle green, fought for our freedom, were volunteering their time and energy. And, it sort of struck a chord with me that, yeah, this is a great project for the 250th. These two ideas ended up getting married sometime after that. Spending hours and hours on the phone with Mona, trying to figure out what do we call this. And we came up with the concept of the VO 250, VO meaning volunteer, which is our old phone exchange. VO is 86. And so the old days when you called the operator to make a phone call, you'd say, volunteer 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's sort of how the program and all that came together. And then the genius behind all this was really these guys over here. So I have been blessed with having a wonderful brother-in-law, but on top of that, he's very talented. So my brother-in-law Eric Campbell, if you all don't know him. So Eric was the muscle, brains, energy, and power behind the calendar. So when I called, which was beautiful. So when I called him a few months ago and said, what do you think about doing another project? He didn't hang up on me, which was good. And he was really excited, and obviously you can see all the hard work paid off. And then John Flanagan, who made an unbelievably amazing eagle that's at the top. I was expecting sort of a rough sketch of a piece of wood or something like that. And John, is a real amazing guy, amazing talent, and was able to create this. A lot of that work and the beauty of that was John's, brain and inspiration. I think the thing looks phenomenal. So we're just so blessed and thank you, John, for everything. The guy that got us over the finish line, both with the calendar and with this project, was Chris O'Neill over there. Chris, thank you for everything. Chris was the muscle behind making sure this thing actually got to place. Couldn't have done it without Chris. There's also a few people on staff that I have to thank that I don't see here, which I wish they were here. But Kyle, who works for the Department of Public Facilities, was instrumental in getting this thing put together, as well as Carl, who works for that. And I want to thank Mike Cronin, even though he's not here. Mike said to me when we were pulling, before we put the arch on stage, Mike said, what are you going to do to make sure it doesn't fall over? This was I'm like, Mike, I'm not worried about that at all. It's not a concern. So, but I want to thank Mike because he never said I told you so. So I appreciate that. And, I want to thank everybody on the team that worked with the VO 250 Awards program, because that was also another huge undertaking. We tried to invent something new this year that we had never done before. And I thought it was fabulous, except for that one little incident where the arch fell. But, it did. So hopefully we'll get some better publicity today and new publicity. But we're going to cut a ribbon. And I'd like to ask Sarah and Sandhya and Mona to also come up. Right. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Great job patching that arch up, and it's on view right now. It's out of Cary Hall. We're going to take a break. Stay with us. Memorial Day brought our community together to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Local officials and residents gathered for moving ceremonies that reminded us of the true meaning of the holiday. Speeches honored the memory of fallen heroes and reflected on their lasting legacy.
I welcome you as we gather to remember and honor those who gave their lives in service of their country, but who are very much alive in our hearts.
On behalf of the Select Board, I thank you for joining us for this very important ceremony. It was steps from here that the first bullet was fired for American independence. What began as a confrontation between local militiamen and British troops quickly became a turning point in world history.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emily, and I am a co-president of the Never Fading Poppy Project, along with Olivia Bao and Alicia. Each Memorial Day, we handcraft 2,000 poppies from scratch to create the display you see before you. This year was especially meaningful. After last year's rainstorm damaged our previous collection, we had to start completely from scratch, spending over 30 hours crafting 2,000 poppies.
Dad's back. It was years, but it was only one. I loved when I heard from him. My little sister, I think she was angry. When I read her the stories at night after he wasn't there, she would say, "Daddy never read it like that. I want Daddy to read it. Why can't Daddy read it?" But Dad's back now, I hope. His eyes aren't the same. He only tells us the part my sister will like, can hear. I see the rest in his eyes when he's not looking. It hurts me. It hurts him more. But his face when he hears his songs, almost like he never went. The greatest contentment I've ever seen on that face. When he puts on a foot-tapping, head-nodding beat and dances, eyes crinkle-cornered with my sister and me. He's here, but with changed eyes, but with us. Dad's back.
Honored veterans, friends, and neighbors, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you very, very much for attending today. I thank the musicians and the narrator for our musical salute, our distinguished poets, the Never Fading Poppy Project, and the members of the Lexington Town Celebrations Committee who produced today's program. Thank you also to our Town Department of Public Works for setting up this beautiful park and for providing technical assistance. As we part, let us keep those who made the ultimate sacrifice in our thoughts and prayers. Good day.
Active duty members and Korean War veterans were also honored with a special breakfast recognizing their service and sacrifice. Veterans shared stories and camaraderie over a meal prepared especially for them. The event highlighted the ongoing commitment to supporting all who have served our country.
So my name is Courtney Fullen. I'm the event coordinator down here at the Knights of Columbus. Today we hosted the Armed Forces Breakfast. This is an annual breakfast that we usually try to host every year on Armed Forces Day to celebrate our active duty and our veterans as well as their families who went along the journey with them. We usually have our volunteers from our council come out and make the breakfast, do our check-in, and kind of sit down and talk to some of the veterans about their stories and kind of see how they are about Lexington.
My name is Jeffrey Kim. I'm Consul General of Republic of Korea. And today, I very honorably came to the city of Lexington. So I attended the Korean veterans the gathering. Today, I met the 5 Korean veterans, 4 spouses and widows, and the 3 family members. Very honorably, today I present the Medal of Ambassador for Peace for the Korean War veterans. This is the small, the metal, is symbolizing their service and sacrifice. And also, we provide one big boxes of that's the souvenir. And also for the family members, we prevent the small the souvenir. That is the very traditional Korean the spoon and then Korean the chopstick made of the metal. It is a very good stuff to remind them of the Korean affection, Korean attention, and Korean love for them. Around 75 years ago, in Korean War from 1950 to 1953, more than 1.7 million US soldiers came to Korean Peninsula, and they fought together with the Korean people. Many sacrifices and many dedications. But still, without their services, without their sacrifice, Korean people, including me, we cannot enjoy this peace, freedom, and prosperity. It is a very meaningful day, but this kind of the commemoration not finished here. Very appropriately, now the Korean war veterans are there are quite old and fragile to make a very long distance trip. So the Korean government provide some opportunity for their family members, for their grandchildren. They come to the Korea, they understand their grandfather, their parents, their fathers, the service in Korea, looking through their own eyes. In United States, many people still think the Korean War is kind of the forgotten war. But Korean people, Korean War, especially Korean War veterans, they are never forgotten, always they remember his service, his sacrifice, their devotion.
A touching reminder to never forget those who answered the call to serve. East Lexington is getting a little sprucing up thanks to a community mural project along the bike path. Local artists and volunteers came together to create a mural to brighten up the area for cyclists and pedestrians. The project is part of an ongoing effort to beautify our neighborhoods and create spaces where art and community intersect.
Hi, my name is Jay Abdella. I'm the Senior Economic Development Coordinator for the town of Lexington. And today, we're having a paint party to celebrate our East Lexington Mural and Area Activation Project. This work was really inspired by the East Lexington Rapid Recovery Project, which came together during the onslaught of COVID. We found that East Lexington businesses suffered disproportionately compared to other businesses in Lexington. And one of the recommendations on the report was to do a type of exterior store-back facade program. And so we threw out a couple ideas, but what we found stuck was the idea of murals and art. So today, as part of that, we're having a paint party where people can come by, get some paint, and do what we call a paint by number. They'll be assigned a number, and with some paint, they'll be able to paint over the number, and eventually all this work will be shown on these murals. Traditionally, Lexington hasn't done a ton of murals compared to its neighbors in Arlington and Somerville. And so building public art and building up a program such as this was what we came the idea to. We worked with a selection panel of residents and community leaders to find the artist as well as get the ball rolling on this work. This particular project is working with the property owners at 55 Mass Ave, Berman Wine and Spirits, 131 Mass Ave, Busa Wine and Spirits, and 135 to 145 Massachusetts Avenue, which includes Battle Road Bikes, Dunkin' Donuts, Domino's, and the barbershop over there. This mural project started last year with our selection of artists, and we're anticipating the installation of these murals to go up June or July of this summer. And so once these are installed, come on by and you'll be able to see some really cool artwork. In addition to this work we're doing, we're also working on landscaping the area to remove brush and allow for better visibility between these businesses. And last year we also installed wayfinding signage, including directional signs and a kiosk to show people that, hey, these businesses are here and there's actual stuff for people to do rather than just walk by on the bikeway.
Visitors got a behind-the-scenes look at local creativity at the 15th Annual Lexington Open Studios. They had a chance to tour the artist studios, watch demonstrations, and see the creative process up close.
Hi, I'm Amantha Charos, and I make bright and aggressively optimistic paintings. I call them bright art for dark days. I'm a member of the board of Lexington Open Studios. We work on it all year round, and it's a wonderful way to get people to get to see this part of our community. We don't always get a chance to see what the artists are working on behind the scenes, and it's a really uplifting and wonderful way to remind us how much we need art in our lives.
I think one of the things that we really value here at Monroe Center is that we have a variety of artists. So Lexington Open Studios celebrates the visual arts. So we have painters, we have people who are fiber artists, we have photographers, and also in the building we have musicians and dancers, and so there's a lot of cross-pollination, there's a lot of creative interchange. And one of the nice things in the community is to be able to see the process of the different artists and as well as their product.
For me as an artist, one of the things I do is I take whatever work I've done and I put it in a beautiful presentation. I take it away and I put it in a gallery somewhere, and nobody sees the sort of mess here behind the creation. And so to see that, and the people come in and they just ask me so many questions, you know, like, well, how do you do this and how do you do that and how do you make it this way and, you know, how do you make that black so black, or whatever it is, you know, they just like are really curious about how things get made, and it's just a great exchange to have with people. To get them excited about the arts and about how things are made.
In addition to the community spaces at Lex Art and Monroe Center of the Arts, there are many artists that are showing at their home studios. Definitely, I recommend going to see Emily Passman. She is over on East Street, and she has a home studio which is in a barn in the back of her home, and you can go see her wonderful still lifes, landscapes, and townscapes. She's an incredible painter, and I highly recommend going to see her work. And she's also an excellent member of the Lexington Open Studio Board. Also, definitely make sure you go and see Judith Cooper at Cooper Studios. She does incredible multimedia, mixed media work and charcoal drawings, and she's an incredible story involved with her pieces, and she's also a wonderful member of the Open Studios board.
Awesome to see those lovely artists up close. What a great job they do. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. Small businesses took center stage at Discovery Day, an event that brought together local entrepreneurs with families looking for fun activities. Booths lined the area showcasing everything from local services to kids' activities. The event provided a chance for residents to learn about businesses in their own backyard while enjoying family-friendly entertainment.
Yeah, I'm Jerry Michelson from Michelson Shoes, one of the Lexington Retail Association organizers of this great event, Discovery Day. As you can see down the avenue here, the streets are lined with booths of merchants and food vendors and everything you can name, town departments and civic organizations. We start planning this 6 months in advance, and it takes a crew of people to do it. And we have a day like we have today with a little bit of rain. There's still all these crowds here that are out here having fun. So we appreciate you, anyone who can come down to come down. We appreciate all the merchants and civic organizations for coming down to see us today. And I hope you had a great time.
All right, welcome. We're here with LexMedia. This is our booth, Audio Virtual Reality. Amit and myself, Simon Rubenstein, are members of the Lexington Retailers Association. So we planned the whole event today with our team. We laid out all the booths last week. We passed out all the flyers, and we're just so excited to see the event be so successful. We're here selling some art by a METCO student, Keith Bowden, who was at LHS with us. And we're here as well promoting virtual reality. We have some cameras here. Very exciting stuff. We do full service photography and video work as well as 360 VR.
I think it's really important for like Lexington in general to like have Discovery Day, you know, have all these small businesses, you know, come out and, you know, show what they have to offer. And I think it's really, you know, good for engagement for, you know, everyone in Lexington to see what, you know, Lexington has to offer people, right?
Yeah, and it's so important just to see everyone, you know, all our local supporters in Lexington, just to see everyone out and about just enjoying themselves, to see all the different local businesses. It just warms our heart, really. We work so hard with the Retailers Association to put on a successful event, and the whole town comes out, and it's just so magical.
Yeah, like it doesn't even matter if it rained all day, like people are still here. They want to come and see it, you know? So I love that.
Discovery Day is a great way to support local business while bringing the community together. Our high school seniors stepped out in style for this year's prom, and we were there to capture all the glamour. From elegant gowns to sharp tuxedos, this year's graduates looked spectacular as they celebrated this milestone event. The red carpet treatment gave these students a night to remember as they prepare for the next chapter of their lives.
Looking like a wonderful couple here. Who asked who to prom?
I had to ask him because he's...
You had to ask him? Oh, you're a little young guy. I get it. And how'd you ask him?
I had a promposal poster and I surprised him at rowing.
Oh, that is so cute. What did you know she was going to ask you, dude?
No, I didn't.
Ooh, surprise. There you go.
What did the poster say?
It said, row, row, row your boat merrily to prom with me.
That's all.
My heart just melted. Wow, absolutely. What a good kid. That's amazing.
You already know what we're going to ask. What is your group name?
Nick Doyle.
Nick Doyle?
I feel like I recognize. Is that from something? Or no?
That's her brother.
Oh, that's your brother. Okay.
Do we like Nick Doyle?
Of course.
We love him, right? Okay, yeah. Is he in the building?
No, he is not.
Okay. Is he watching at home?
No, hopefully not.
Jeez, all right.
Everyone gets big moment, man.
I love the studs. You two look awesome.
Wow,
if you had to compare yourself, or if two celebrities had to play you as a couple tonight, who do you think they'd be?
Beyonce.
Beyonce?
There you go. There you go. Anybody, man.
And
Say
what
your
about
dream.
Michael B.
There you
B.
go.
Jordan?
Dude,
I
he's
can
gassed,
see it.
dude.
Yeah.
I'll go with that
one. Michael B. Jordan.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Show us.
Yeah. Come on. No, you got to do it.
You got to go quick, dude. You got to go quick.
Do it. This is one of those moments. Massimo. You got to do it. Okay, we got to see it. Try and worm our way out.
Real quick.
We have insurance, right, Jake?
Well, yeah, we got it covered.
Yeah. Let's do it, Massimo.
Hit it.
Come on, Massimo.
Yes.
Hit the worm.
Hey! Get ready to see that on the dance floor tonight, guys.
Sure.
Hey, awesome job, dude.
Hope you guys have a great night. You look awesome.
Have a good one.
Thank
Thanks
you so
for coming,
much.
guys. Group name. Let's go. Let's hear it.
Baddies in Boston.
Okay, I think that's one of my favorite ones tonight. That's a good one.
You had it right.
I know you heard. You had a little time to think about it. And let's get the baddies out tonight on the dance floor.
Anything by Rihanna. Yeah, second that. Oh yeah, of course, Rihanna's the best. I think Pitbull, honestly.
Ooh, shaking it up a little bit.
Pitbull and Rihanna, you can't go wrong. Awesome. Well, you have a lovely night. Thank you all so much. You look great. The Baddies.
Come on down.
Baddies of Boston.
Baddies of Boston. That'd be a TV
I'm going to see
show,
if I
dude.
can
That'd be
join the
a TV
Baddies of
show.
Boston. I don't know if they'll let me in, but I'm going to
Start
try.
our own LexMedia version. I like it.
Now, I met these kids on hand, and what a great group of young adults, and a special shout out to Mr. Worldwide, aka Pitbull, for being our most anticipated artist of the night. We close tonight's show with highlights from senior graduation, a celebration of achievement and new beginnings. Families filled the seats as graduates walked across the stage to receive their diplomas. Years of hard work culminated in this proud moment, and the joy was evident on every face in the crowd. Congratulations to the class of 2025. We wish you all the best as you take on the world.
intelligent, funny, and chaotic.
Participating in any social activity will bring you connection and meaning and
Congratulations, LHS class of 2025.
You have all been encouraged to plan for your future. And there are countless paths ahead of you holding on to those things that matter most to you. It is easy.
We've survived tests where the only answers we were really sure of was the
that I can stand here today and wholeheartedly make this proclamation. Class of 2020.
An actual physical atlas from the trunk to navigate our way. You are coming of age in an era of change. My wish for you is continued joy in learning, endless curiosity in life, and deep compassion in all you do. Congratulations.